Hello everyone, welcome to this brief introduction of business and dashboard template. Before we begin, allow me to introduce myself. I am Sagar Patkar, having 2 decades of experience in IT services and project delivery. Today, I am excited to walk you through one of my process improvement initiative, the business unit dashboard. As many organizations are currently focusing on their Q1 financial performance, this dashboard template is designed to assist in streamlining that efforts. This presentation is intended for audience comprising CEO, CEOs, directors, and managers with the simple prerequisite of having basic understanding of project and financial management concepts such as earned value management, profit and loss statement, and knowledge of Microsoft Excel, as this template is customizable according to your business unit requirement. Topics for the presentation are as listed. Starting with the executive summary, we'll take you through dashboard architecture and deep dive through its components. Part 2 of this series focused on the dashboard walkthrough, and it will be delivered in the follow-up presentation for deeper insight. Coming to the executive summary, Business Unit Dashboard is a cutting-edge solution tailored to meet the needs of executive directors and managers across the industries and compatible with methodologies like waterfall or agile. It highlights efficiency in providing real-time insights into the financial performance, resource utilization, and the project delivery. It assists in improving the productivity at the manager side. So, for executives, it provides insight which helps them in making informed decisions, and at the manager side, it helps improving the productivity. Coming to compliance alignment, in consideration of the financial year across the industry worldwide, there are two versions of business unit dashboard template supporting the period 1st January 2025 to 31st January 2025 and period 1st April 2025 to 31st March 2026. It supports up to 25 label roles within the business unit. It supports addition up to 100 resources across the projects within the business unit. It complies with the PMI on value methods. It generates dynamics projects, operations, dashboards, reports. It works well across the methodologies and estimation techniques like story points, function points, etc. No micros or scripting specific business or dashboard report functionality been added. Managers usually get some questions from the executives like how much revenue we expect in upcoming month or quarter. How are we performing on the profit and loss for last month, quarters? Is resource fully utilized on the project? What is their PC cost? What is the allocation of resource on the project within the business unit? Where do we stand in terms of project delivery? Do we see any deviation in the timeline? And when do we expect the project completion? Do we see any impact on the project budget in consideration of actual expenditure to date? Is it exceeding budget? So all these questions usually manager get, and at the manager level, the challenges are to understand, compile, and review monthly, quarterly, and annual data related to resource assignment, utilization, identifying the deviation between the resource budget and the actual expenditure, and the future resourcing need, considering the current project performance status. At executive level, it helps being up to date on the business unit performance status and keep tab on same, such as revenue generation, profit and loss occurred, to approve project program budget, business unit budget, track actual expenditure against the budget. So all those things would be helpful using this dashboard. So to answer these questions and address these challenges, business unit dashboard is helpful. So how business unit dashboard help us? Here is the value proposition provided by first industry agnostic. It is applicable across the sector such as IT, banking, retail, construction, etc. and compatible with the diverse methodologies like waterfall, agile, etc. Second, efficient planning. It aids in business unit budget planning monthly or quarterly and ongoing performance monitoring. Third, central insights. It acts as a single source for up-to-date financial resourcing and project informations reports. Fourth, executive view. It offers quick dynamic dashboard for easy tracking of profit and loss, resource allocation, and the project status. Lastly, ease of use for manager. It minimizes manual updates required for data compilation, validation, reporting, so it saves times and efforts. Coming to the impact and benefits, business unit dashboard helps in driving informed decision making, optimizes resource allocation, ensure timely project delivery, and monitor budget adherence. Emphasize its role in enhancing operational efficiency and strategic planning. It also helps executive to take preventive measure to ensure targeted revenue or strategic goals will meet for the business unit by the end of month, quarter or year. Now, call to action. I encourage stakeholders to adopt this BU dashboard template as their go-to solution for data-driven insight and seamless tracking. It is scalable, adaptable to suit various business requirements. As you see, first snapshot in the left is the profit and loss dashboard. The second of project dashboard and the bottom one is the resource dashboard. Now let's discuss about the architecture of business unit dashboard. When we consider the project or program budget, main considering factor always is human resources. All profit and loss directly proportional with the resource utilization. Also, project delivery status is greatly depends upon. That's how the resource plan helps in deriving the profit and loss, project and resource utilization dashboards. Resource plan is a baseline worksheet to derive below reports, and it helps in providing up-to-date monthly, quarterly report status simply by updating resource utilization efforts, plan or actual within it. Profit and loss dashboard highlights profit and loss details at month, quarter, or annual level, identifying the budget required for the next quarter at the BU level, tracking plan and actual expenditure at the quarter and the annual level. Resource dashboard highlights resource utilization details across the project, their cost for specific month, and the cumulative cost to the month. Next, project dashboard highlights on values like SPI, CPI, TCPI, etc. specific to the project to date also helps identifying the forecasted cost of the project and the expected targeted completion considering the current performance. The first component is a resource plan. It holds the resource utilization information across the project or operations for specific duration. It has a dependency on organization rate card for basic early rate of the resource and the resource calendar. During planning stage, weekly plan efforts in days for each resource against the assigned project to be updated in consideration of resource capacity. User updates the resource name, label, role, and allocate it to appropriate project. New resource can simply be added by copy of rows of previous resource and updating specific details. At the time of project execution stage, weekly actual efforts in days for each resource against the assigned project to be mentioned to date. Now coming to the subcomponent rate card. So as specified, user can update information of 25 roles, labels within the business unit and associate basic early rates. Any further addition of resource is possible but requires changes in the template. Next subcomponent is a resource calendar. As specified, user can add up to 100 resources in the resource calendar. It can be done by updating existing records or by adding the new resource at the end of the table as shown. Resource annual leaves to be added against the working days in respective week intervals. Organization label list of public holidays to be updated. In continuation of resource plan, in this slide you can see the way rows of existing resource are copied at the end in the row with the arrow mark. Kindly note you have to copy all rows starting from the capacity of the specific resource. Later you can update the actual resource name and the designation, selecting it from the drop down available as shown. This side reflects the drop-down for addition of a resource name. Next component is a profit and loss dashboard. It provides quick glimpse of profit and loss statement breakup for particular month, quarter, and financial year. It shows deviation between the resource budget and the actual expenditure on the resource, compares performance of profit and loss statement attributes to average of previous year. It also provides bifurcation of gross revenue at the project level for particular month, quarter, and year. It shows a breakup of indirect expenditure occurs against the plan for particular month or quarter across the projects or operation. It has a dependencies on resource plan, budget analysis, and profit and loss analysis worksheets. In previous slide, we saw profit and loss dashboard for particular month, and in this slide, you may see it for the particular quarter, like Q1 quarter. So, based on the selection, we may get appropriate reports from this particular dashboard. Now, let's see subcomponent budget analysis of the profit and loss dashboard. So budget analysis helps arriving at monthly, quarterly, and annual budget at business unit level in consideration of resource wages, salaries derived from the project efforts of all resources respectively. It also considers other indirect expenses across the projects or operations. In this, user to enter other indirect expenses plan for respective month in advance. Prerequisites for this particular sheet is a provision of amount for subcontracting or outsourcing of the project work to be done, and in addition certain provision for operational expenditure to be done within. The next subcomponent, profit and loss analysis of profit and loss dashboard, is a worksheet which reflects automatically updated actual monthly expenditure at the business unit level in consideration of monthly utilization efforts of all resources across the project and operations. User to update the project or operation name in the category column over here. Then all project revenue according to the delivery or operation milestone for particular financial month has to be updated. Actual spent on the amount for subcontracting or outsourcing across the project work has to be entered. Actual spent on the operational expenditure to be mentioned, monthly, quarterly, and annual threshold for the financial attributes to be set. User need to mention average performance for the last year during the same period. So things to be considered is the project contracts, vendor contracts, indirect cost expected, software and tools procurement. So all these things before updating this uh, profit and loss analysis per sheet. Next component is a project dashboard. Project dashboard dynamically reflects to-date status of the project within the business unit, which incorporates project-specific gross revenue, resource budget on the project, resource to-date cost on the project, and the forecasted total cost of the project. It also helps identifying the expected next quarter ballpark estimate at the budget level for the business unit across the project operations and also tracks expenditure against. Lastly, it highlights performance of the individual projects or operations using unvalue methods. With the same, it calculates estimate estimated turnaround and the forecasted cost of the project, highlighting the risks associated with in-time project completion. Dependency it has as mentioned of project performance analysis. Coming to subcomponent project performance analysis, it reflects to-date project status on values for the respective project duration. This is supporting worksheet for the project dashboard. User to input project revenue, name, start date, duration in days to be updated. During the project planning stage, in case of the project, plan efforts estimates in terms of story points, functional points or UCP against the month to be updated. And in case of operation, resource plan and the actual efforts get auto-populated here, which helps tracking it against the defined retainers efforts for the resource. During execution phase, actual completed story points, functional points or use case point to date to be updated. It has a dependency on the profit and loss analysis and budget analysis. The last component is a resource dashboard. It provides quick glimpse of percentage resource utilization breakup for the particular month, means resource monthly, capacity, plan and actual percentage utilization. It also provides glimpse of percentage cumulative resource utilization breakup for from April to selected month, means resource capacity, plan and actual percentage utilization. It also helps dynamically reflecting cost, plan, actual of specific resource. It dynamically reflects selected month cost, plan and actual of resources as well as to-date cost, plan and actual of resources within the business unit. It dynamically reflects plan and actual cost of resources against the cost of resources based on the capacity, which helps identifying the gaps in resource planning as well as the maintaining PC cost of the resource. It shows to-date plan versus actual cost of the resource at the project level. It has a dependency on resource data analysis and the resource plan. This finished introduction of a business unit dashboard, and as mentioned we'll cover part 2 walkthrough of business unit dashboard in the separate presentation. Thanks for giving your valuable time watching this presentation about introduction of the business unit dashboard template. Kindly let me know your suggestions to improve it further. Thank you. Bye.